With the 7th generation of consoles now teetering into retro territory, I've been thinking a lot about its impact on the video game landscape, and the fond memories I have from the era. The world of video games is a fluid landscape, with each generation bringing in new innovations, technology, and experiences. However, despite all the advances that have come after it, the 7th console generation stands out as a defining era in gaming history. The 7th generation spanned from around 2005 to 2013, and for many, it marks the pinnacle of gaming's blend of innovation, accessibility, and creativity, setting a bar that subsequent generations have struggled to surpass. Today, we'll be embarking on a journey through the history of the 7th console generation and why it left an everlasting mark on the gaming landscape. Released in 2005, Microsoft's Xbox 360 was the second console in the Xbox lineup, following the original Xbox that released in 2001. While the original Xbox only sold 24 million units worldwide, things were about to change for Microsoft with the 360. The 360 took everything that was good about the original Xbox and cranked it tenfold. One of the 360's standout features was its powerful hardware for the time. With a custom-designed triple-core processor and advanced graphics, it brought high-definition gaming to the forefront. The console also had a sleek design that was super customizable, with custom faceplates, removable hard drives, console skins, and a variety of accessories that released throughout its lifetime. But the Xbox 360 had one glaring problem: the infamous Red Ring of Death.
Dude, you guys! No, I got the red ring! Oh my god!
The overheating issues that led to the Red Ring of Death were abundant in the first model that Microsoft released. But they managed to salvage their reputation by offering free repairs. Thankfully, the Red Ring of Death didn't end up defining the 360's legacy, and it ultimately just became one stumbling block in its path to success. The Xbox 360 revolutionized online gaming with Xbox Live. Features like multiplayer matchmaking, a friends list, and party chat set a new standard for social and competitive gaming. Xbox Live Arcade was also a game changer, giving indie developers a platform to reach a console audience and adding new dimensions to digital distribution with hit games like Castle Crashers and Braid. The console also introduced achievements, which was a points-based reward system that encouraged gamers to complete specific goals and milestones within games. Achievements became so incredibly popular, almost like a social currency, that Sony eventually adopted its own system called trophies. The 360 also released the Kinect in 2010, which was a motion sensing peripheral geared towards a casual audience. This was in direct response to the Nintendo Wii, which we'll talk about later. The Xbox 360 was also one of the first consoles to position itself as more than just a gaming device by emphasizing the console's multimedia capabilities that allowed its player base to stream music, movies, and TV shows through various services like Netflix, Hulu, and Spotify. But what Microsoft really nailed with the console was its game library, with exclusives like Fable 2, Forza Motorsport, Halo 3, and the Gears of War series, as well as multi-platform hits like Mass Effect and Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. The 360 built a library that appealed to both hardcore and casual gamers alike. The rich library gave the Xbox 360 a diverse fan base and secured its place as one of the most beloved consoles of all time. The Xbox 360 was a powerhouse, selling over 84 million units worldwide, allowing Microsoft to submit itself as one of the major console players. They were able to create a console that laid the foundation for the social, connected gaming experience we know today. The next console to release in this generation was the PlayStation 3. Sony's PlayStation 2 had dominated the previous generation, but the PS3 faced challenges right from the start when it launched in 2006. Releasing a year after the Xbox 360 meant that the console had to make up ground from the get-go, and Sony didn't make it easy for themselves starting out. The PS3 was a technical marvel, with its cell processor and Blu-ray drive. While these gave it a graphical edge and more storage capacity, they also made it notoriously hard to develop games for. leading to a rough start for multi-platform titles. Sony also didn't do themselves any favors, with the initial launch price being $599 US. Although, Sony would fix the pricing issues with later PS3 models. However, Sony ultimately decided to stick with the cell architecture, allowing the PS3's performance to improve over time as AAA developers began to grasp the hardware. The Blu-ray strategy ultimately offered more storage capabilities versus their DVD counterparts, and they also allowed for developers to create more expansive games with higher quality graphical textures and a more intricate sound design. While Xbox Live initially outshined the PlayStation Network, Sony gradually caught up with its free service versus Microsoft's paid Xbox Live model. Sony also eventually introduced a paid version called PlayStation Plus that offered exclusive access to beta tests, game discounts, and even free monthly games, which is still a standard practice amongst most platforms today, including PC. Like the Xbox 360, Sony also integrated multimedia applications into the PS3, allowing it to become not just a gaming console, but an entertainment hub. Users not only had access to Blu-ray movies and TV shows, but could also stream movies, music, and TV shows using Hulu, Netflix, and Spotify. The PS3 also had a massive library of exclusive games, which rivaled that of the 360. Games like Uncharted 2, The Last of Us, Gran Turismo 5, Metal Gear Solid 4, and God of War 3 pushed boundaries in storytelling, graphics, and gameplay, giving the PS3 a reputation for cinematic, story-driven experiences. Despite its early challenges, the PlayStation 3 found its footing, selling over 87 million units, and by the end of the generation, it was thriving. With a library full of cinematic and groundbreaking exclusives, the PS3 established Sony as the home of multimedia entertainment and high-quality, narrative-driven gaming experiences. There are few certainties in life, like death, taxes, and Nintendo, well, doing Nintendo things. Enter the Nintendo Wii. Released in 2006, the Wii went in a completely different direction from the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. While Microsoft and Sony were focused on power, Nintendo prioritized accessibility, innovation, and bridging the gap between hardcore and casual gamers. The Wii's main selling point was its motion controls, a bold new way to play games. The Wii used a Wii Remote, or Wiimote, to track player movements, which allowed players to use physical gestures rather than button pushes during play. The Wii also bundled every console with the iconic Wii Sports, which quickly became a cultural phenomenon. Wii Sports introduced millions of people to gaming who had never picked up a controller before, ultimately expanding the gaming audience to young children, parents, and even grandparents. This casual appeal led to incredible sales, with the Wii outselling both the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. Nintendo didn't stop its motion gameplay at Wii Sports though. It released games with motion controls throughout the entire life of the console, with titles like Wii Fit, Mario Kart Wii, Wii Sports Resort, and Mario Party 8. However, Nintendo didn't ignore its core audience. The Wii brought us some unforgettable games, like Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, Super Paper Mario, Animal Crossing City Folk, and Metroid Prime 3. Super Mario Galaxy in particular was praised for its creativity and design, solidifying its place as one of the best platformers ever made. The Wii inspired other platforms, including Sony's PlayStation Move and Microsoft's Kinect, to experiment with motion gaming. While these motion control trends eventually cooled down, the Wii proved that innovation could pay off big time, and showed that gaming could be accessible for everyone. Nintendo also focused heavily on multiplayer, integrating local multiplayer into a lot of its titles, and integrating online play with Nintendo Wi-Fi Connect. But local multiplayer was the heavier focus amongst the two. Much like the 360, Nintendo released an arcade of sorts, titled the Virtual Console, offering classic games from Nintendo's past systems, like the NES, SNES, and Nintendo 64. The Virtual Console gave the Wii a unique edge by connecting players to classic titles and ultimately allowed Nintendo to expand the Wii's audience even further. Nintendo's decision to focus on innovation and a broad audience made the Wii one of the best-selling consoles of all time, selling over 100 million units worldwide. It may not have had the graphical power of its competitors, but it created a cultural phenomenon and laid the groundwork for Nintendo's approach to its future gaming consoles. Although each of these consoles had killer first-party titles, third-party support was crucial to the success of the 7th generation of consoles. This era saw groundbreaking shifts in how video games were developed, distributed, played, and marketed, which allowed for third-party developers to become powerful and influential in the industry. With online gaming being a huge focus in this era, the Call of Duty franchise became a juggernaut, releasing yearly titles over the 7th generation, including Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, World at War, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops, Modern Warfare 3, and Black Ops 2. Sports titles also got in on the online multiplayer mix, with games like FIFA and Madden adopting their own online matchmaking. However, there were many other multi-platform standouts that released throughout this generation, with Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed franchise, EA's Mass Effect series, 2K's Bioshock, Bethesda's Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, Rockstar's Grand Theft Auto 4 and Red Dead Redemption, and the iconic Guitar Hero and Rock Band games. This era of gaming established new standards for third-party game development, ultimately creating a thriving ecosystem for big-budget video game titles, allowing the 7th console generation to become one of the most transformative in gaming history. So what did the 7th generation leave behind? Each console contributed something unique that has left a lasting impact on gaming. The Xbox 360 revolutionized online gaming and esports and created the foundation for multiplayer and digital distribution that's standard today. The PlayStation 3 brought us cinematic, story-driven experiences that made gaming more mature and narrative-focused. And the Nintendo Wii expanded gaming's reach, proving that games could be for everyone, young, old, casual, or core gamer alike. This generation also sparked a competitive, innovative era that changed the industry. Developers pushed the boundaries of what games could be, bringing us experiences that are still celebrated today. Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo also cemented game consoles not just as gaming devices, but multimedia platforms. The 7th generation wasn't just a leap forward in gaming, it was a revolution, and for many, it represents a golden age that bridged the old school and modern eras of gaming. My name is Doodad. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day.